So let's have a look at how we're going to actually play that. This is the chord bit out of the Surf Riders song. I put a link to the intro bit that I did with the riffs if you haven't seen that already, and I'll also put another link to the SONGSTERR tab that I'm using for this. It'll be really useful to have the tab at hand because I'm going to go through it again a bar at a time to try and make it as easy as possible for you to understand what's happening in the song. So to begin with, if you look at the tab, the first bar, it's bar 9 in the tab where this starts, the chordy bit that I've just played. So we're going to start with the A minor chord and normal A minor. Rather than playing it as normal, we're going to remove the first finger from that chord. So we've only got 2 fingers playing the A minor chord. And for again, I'm talking about the first bar of this sequence, which is bar 9. We're going to add that finger on for the last note, but until then we're going to leave it off. So I'm going to play through from my 4th string, 3rd string, my 2nd string, and then my 2nd string again, but put that finger back on. So when I do that, I'm going to get you can see, hopefully, I'm just adding that finger on for the last note. And that's a proper A minor chord. The second bar of the sequence, which is actually bar 10, if you look at the tab, is the same kind of idea. We're taking that finger off and putting it back on, but it's a little bit quicker. It's an 1/8 notes, not quarter notes. And we just need to be a little bit careful about when we're applying the finger and taking it off. And also at the end of this sequence, in this bar, we're going to also remove another finger. So this is where it's going to get a little bit perhaps complicated or twisty. So for the second bar of the sequence, so this is bar 10 on your tab, it's the same A minor without that first finger. And then we're going to put the finger on, bring it off again. Then we're going to go back up to our 3rd string and then remove our 3rd finger to leave an open G string. So I'm playing 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string, which I'm leaving open for now, putting the note of the chord on as normal, 1st fret, bringing it off again, I'm going back up the chord to the 2nd fret, my 3rd string, and then bringing that off. So the 2 bars together, bar 9 and bar 10. It's worth practicing that and getting that bit down so you're happy with it, because the next 2 bars are exactly the same idea, but instead of using A minor, we're going to use an F chord. So if you're not happy with that bit, take a break at this point, try and get that pattern down. As I always say, don't try and worry about playing it at full speed to the song. Just get it so it's nice and clean and you can do the pattern. It doesn't really matter whether you're picking downs or whether you want to pick alternate picking, whatever's most comfortable to you. When you get up to the actual speed of the song, I found it more comfortable to play alternate in places, but again, as an exercise, just get the notes clean, use what's comfortable for you. So the next 2 bars we're going to look at is bar 11 and bar 12. As I say, we're going to do the same picking pattern, but we're going to use an F chord rather than the A minor chord. So your normal F chord is that one, obviously. Now, something that'll help us out here a little bit, make it a bit easier, we're not using our 1st string or our E string. at all for this chord section. So when we're making our F chord, we can just do a simple 3-note F chord. Rather than having to do the little mini bar down there to make the complete proper F chord. So if we look at simplifying that F chord, that'll make it easier to play this riff. So I'm just going to play for the F chord, 3rd fret on my D string, 2nd fret there on my G string, 1st fret on B string. So that's all I'm playing for the F chord. So again, remember the pattern that we use for A minor. I'm going to use exactly the same thing again for the F chord. I'm going to start by removing the 1st finger off. So I'm going to play the first 2 notes of this chord and then an open string and then put the finger on. So it's going to sound like. Rather than playing it with all the fingers on, we're going to play that 3rd fret, 2nd fret, open string, and then bring on that final note, 1st fret on the B string to complete the chord. The next bar after that, it follows the same pattern, the pattern that we used before. It's bar 12. We're going to use that same F chord shape with the 1st finger missing to begin with, and we're going to go down again from our 4th string or D string. So we're going down from the 3rd fret on the D string, 2nd fret on the G string, open B string, sorry, onto the 1st fret, open B string again, 2nd fret on the G string, then open G string. You can hear the similarity between what we did with the A minor. With the F. So we're using basically the same pattern twice, once for the 2 bars of the A minor, once for the 2 bars of the F. So we'll go through from the start just to make sure we've got that down. Switch to the F. And then we're going to go to an E major chord shape. So your normal E major from your chord charts. Normally we play that starting on the 6th string. In this instance we're going to play it starting on the 5th string and just pick down across 4 strings of the E major chord. So starting on your 5th string, your A string, with your E minor shape in place. We're not having to mess about with that one. Just across 4 strings. So we'll run through it again because the end bit is going to be a little bit trickier. So let's just get it up to speed where we are now. Up to knowledge where we are now. We're going a bit slow now, which is the best way to learn it. To our F. Our E major shape. Playing strings 5, 4, 3, 2. And then, when we've done that, we have a little bit of a riff. So it's going to be starting on the 5th fret of our B string. I played it using my little finger. It's up to you what you want to use. I found this easier. And I'm also playing my open E string, so I'm playing and those 2 notes together. Technical name for that is a double stop. We're playing 2 notes together, but it gives it that nice ringing sound. So we're going to play that little chord, so 5th fret of your B string and your open E string. We're going to play that twice. and then after that I'm going to play just my open E string. I did it by coming back up, so I've gone down, you can see there, I've gone down twice for that little chord. Natural for me to come back up. If you want to do it down, that's fine. It's just what worked for me. And then we've got another little riff. So we've got the on our B string, frets 3 and 1, and then on our G string, frets 2, an open string. So that little bar, it's bar 14 on your tab. Sounds a little bit finicky and tricky, and to be honest it is a little bit if you haven't sort of had a go at things like that before, but that's a great thing about learning new stuff. So just a little, and then we're into the final part of it. It's just going to be a minor chord. We only actually need to play, I'm looking at the tab, we only need to play the bottom 3 strings, so strings 1, 2 and 3, so you can put a normal A minor shape on. And then we're going to switch to what's called an inversion of A minor. It's still A minor, but we're going to make a little bar on our 5th fret, again the bottom 3 strings, those notes. That's an A minor again, but because it's played in a different position, makes it sound a little bit different, so we're going from. And the final chord is going to be an E7 chord. This one might catch you out, but again it's good exercise for the fingers. Start off on the A string on your 7th fret, D string, your 6th fret, and then your G string, again on your 7th fret, and your B string open. That gives us our E7 chord that finishes off that 8-bar sequence for the chord section. So I'll play the double stop part through to the chords at the end. It's quite a lot to go through there. Don't rush it, take your time. Get it right, get it clean. It is a cool sounding song, so it's worth persevering with. I've already given you the intro in a previous video. I'll link to that as well. Just to go through this section again, so you can hear what it sounds like from the beginning to the end. Starting with the A minor, the F, the E major chord, and then that little riffy bit with the double stops. Finishing finally with an A minor, and then your E7th chord. So. That's 8 bars of the chord sequence. That's the first half. There's actually 16 bars, but I've saved the good news till last. On the second part of it, I've talked about learning things in 2 lines sometimes. So the second chord progression in this chordy bit of this song is identical to what I've just played. The only difference is the last 2 bars, and it's actually easier. So when I say the last 2 bars, what I've just described as the last 2 bars is the bit where we go from the A minor to the inversion to the E7 chord. So those are the last 2 bars when we play it the first time round. On your tab, those are bars 15 and 16. When we play the sequence on the second repeat, the last 2 bars are going to be bars 23, 24 on the tab that I'm sharing, and we only have to play the A minor and the inversion. You can forget about the E7. So on the second time around, when we've done with the we just play the normal A minor and then the little A minor inversion. So it's actually easier the second time round. As I always say, and I just want to double stress the point, slow it down. The song itself is pretty quick. Play it at the speed you're comfortable with. Do the A minor bit first and get that into your hands, and the F bit will come automatically once you're comfortable doing that A minor bit. It is a bit tricky because we're taking fingers on and off on chord positions. So if you're not used to doing that, that might be a challenge to you. But it's really rewarding because it'll sound great when you get around to it and get it all put together nicely. So, as ever, enjoy.